My name is Kovalenko Roman. I am 34 years old. I have a wife and 2 daughters. I am a citizen of Ukraine from Dnepr City. I was born in an intellectual family. My parents always wanted to give me the best. My parents do not belong to any religion. We did not attend any religion or denomination. Therefore, I grew up and knew nothing about God, about salvation, and the purpose of my being here on earth. I left the university and entered the military in the hope of finding the change there, but being in the army didn't change me. I had been into gambling, which led to my biggest troubles. I wanted to commit suicide. But something stopped me, and I prayed to God. I asked Him, "Save me from this useless life and find me my purpose." He heard my prayer. He gave me a purpose. He let me meet my wife. My life began to change. I gradually find a purpose in my life. I had a job. Then we began searching for God, but we continued to live a worldly life. And so our relationship reached a deadlock. We couldn't solve our problems, so we prayed to God. We understood that without God, our life is useless. Then we began searching for God. In 2008, we got into one of the denomination in our city. We became active visitors. We attended all seminars, lessons, and every activity of that church. We even reached the level of leadership. But a year later, we found that the spiritual life of this church is not perfect. We observed that the leaders did something wrong. For us, it was sin. But they justified it. We continued to attend this church. We continued our service because we didn't know anything else. We have many questions. We asked the leaders, but unfortunately, they didn't answer those questions. Even about the Bible, we had questions but no answers, especially about the book of Revelations. But we continued to follow loyalty, and the leader of that church told us to take part in buying new buildings. We have to make a donation and promising our life will change. We believe him, expecting that something great will happen when we buy a new building. But after we came into that new building, although we worship God, but we didn't feel anything.
После того, как мы вошли в это здание, где будут проводиться служения, мы не почувствовали ничего. Купив это здание, не изменилось ничего. И мы в очередной раз
So I and my wife prayed again. We asked God for Him to show us where He is. We wanted to obey Him, but we only feel disappointment in this church. And God heard us again. And He sent to us our old friend, who brought us in that denomination before. But this time, she told us about the kingdom of Jesus Christ. When she went, she left us a preaching disc of Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy. When we watched this video, we were indignant. We couldn't believe it. How could somebody call himself Son of God? We left the disc. We continued attending our denomination and live an ordinary life like before. But after 1 week, when I was in my work, my wife called me. She was happy and joyful while saying, She understood as she watched the disc again.
Еще раз посмотрела диск, и она поняла.
She realized what Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy is talking about, and I have to watch the disc also. But I don't have a time to watch this video, so I made an MP3 audio version of it, so I could listen him preach while I'm working. The title of that preaching was The Parable of the Growing Seed, where Pastor Apollo preached about the blind man who approached the elephant and touched the different parts of it.
Каждый из них отдельной части.
One of them touched proboscis of that elephant, another man touched a leg, another the tail, and each of them affirmed that they know how elephant looks like. One of them tells that the elephant looks like a trunk. The next man told that elephant looks like a tail. Another said the elephant looks like a leg.
Видит как хвост. Кто-то говорил о том, что слон.
All of them were right, all of them have the truth, but they don't have the whole picture.
Но не было общей картины.
The same situation was in that denomination where many pastors are preaching and all of them talk about their own belief, but nobody teaches about the unity and the whole truth.
Никто не говорил об этих служениях как об одном целом.
They didn't see the true picture of salvation.
Настоящую картину спасения.
Until I was called. Did I complete it? That's why I have a complete message.
And I realized that it is true. It is the truth. This is what I'm looking for my whole life.
Что здесь я могу ощутить.
This is fullness. We have decided that we will not come back to our former denomination. We stayed in the kingdom of Jesus Christ. No more another way. In 2013, we were baptized. We have decided to become full-time miracle workers and went to the Philippines so we can learn deeper about the doctrines of Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy. Now I know the truth. The kingdom of Jesus Christ, it is the truth. And now, we can find salvation only through the appointed Son of God, Pastor Apollo C. Quiboloy.
Только через избранного сына, пастора Аполло C. Quiboloy.
These are the seeds, called the fruits, that will glorify the Father Almighty. So except you believe in this message and repent, you will remain in those manifestations of from faith to faith, and you will go from one of those manifestations to the other, and then, try to find life. You will not find it. It's all dried up. All of this is sprouted, and then the Father sent me. A child is born, and a son now is given. Sons and daughters are the ones that have this life in them.
When I and my family came to the Philippines for the first time, it was very hard. Different culture, different people, everything's different. But we continued to follow the words of the Son. And I have seen changes in my life. I realized that I have no more worries in heart. I didn't feel nervous anymore. Now, I could more spend my time with my children. My relationship with my family becomes better. My heart is now changed with kindness, joy, long-suffering, and all the fruits of the Spirit being taught by the appointed Son. Because of him, I was changed. Pastor, I want to say thank you for your commitment, dedication, and love. Without you, we will not be here. I thank the Almighty Father for this big privilege to be here in the New Jerusalem. And now I can say, I commit my life to you and follow the will of the Almighty Father no matter what. My heart is fixed and my mind is made up. Before I was a physical soldier who searched for change, but my life was really changed when I came into the kingdom of Jesus Christ. I found the purpose of my life, and that is to become a soldier of the army of goodness.
Мое сердце установлено, и мой разум направлен. Не моя воля, Отец, а Твоя да будет в моей жизни.